All right, guys. I am back. We had some technical difficulties again. I'm responsible for everything. And I mentioned the word generative AI, so I assumed the tech gremlins came out to burn me alive. Also, it appears that there is a live chat going on now. It is certainly going on in YouTube, and I believe maybe for Facebook, but I'm not sure. But we can determine all that because I'm not gonna worry about it for right now. Let's see here. We go to Facebook. I'm going to check and see what it is. All right. So again, as I was saying, I'm gonna try to do a little bit of work with a little generative AI. I think that'll be a good thing to show and to do what we're gonna do. Uh, Perhaps this will be of help to someone. I want to make sure that I share the. I want to make sure I share the thread, or at least in some groups. We will see. And yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll share here. I'll share this to copy link. Well, we're going to share it to. Let's see here. We'll share it to. Let's see here. Let's see if we can share it to the groups. Let's go back. Well, we'll share it to everyone, so we might be all right. We'll see. At any rate, generative AI. What in the world is going on with that stuff? You know why? You know why? What's the big deal? What's the big deal? And how do I like? I can't tell anyone what they need to do. I can't do that. But what I can do is tell you what I'm going to do. That's what I can do. I can tell you what works for me. I utilize this tool because it does three things that the other tools that I use. Obviously, I draw traditional. I do not draw on paper. I do not use analog-based tools anymore. I moved on from that years ago. So everything I draw is drawn in either Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint. I used to use Corel Painter a lot, but I don't use it as much. And I will draw something in Procreate if I'm on the road or something like that. But that is what I do. I use 3ds Max. I've used 3ds Max for almost 30 years, maybe about 30 years now. I'm not the greatest animator in the world. I'm not the greatest modeler in the world, but I do okay. I do well enough for what I need to do. Additionally, that's how it works for me, and perhaps this will be useful for you guys. And I would hope that folks would feel uh, if you have any questions. I don't really care about you know the vibe. If it's not something that you're feeling good about, or you feel like it's not for you, do not in any way hesitate in asking me the question. If you want to light my butt up, for using this tool, that's fine too. I don't mind. I don't mind answering your questions. It's all good to me. So that's where I am. All right, so I'm going to save this here because it should be on there. All right, so we're on the Tim Fielder page. I have it posted there, and I think we can rock. Yeah, so today I'm going to be doing my comic work, but I'm also going to be utilizing AI. I will try my best to showcase both AI with still imagery as well as still imagery as well as how should I say, still imagery as well as animation. And it's like 8:08 Eastern Standard Time. I'll go for another hour and a half. Maybe we'll be able to rock that. So that's okay. Let's see here. I believe we have chat going again on YouTube, so it'll be interesting to see if anyone chimes in. If you don't, that's cool. I don't mind. It's all good there as well. Let's go here. One thing we gotta do though. Let's see here. I'm always checking my readings here, trying to see what's happening. Okay, we seem to be going. I did try Instagram the other day, and I don't think Instagram worked very well. But I'm gonna eventually get Instagram and TikTok Live going. Uh, Twitch, it seems to be rock solid. It's the strangest thing. You hit the button, it just works. But with YouTube and other programs, there seems to be some trick or catch in terms of how it works. But anyway, we won't worry about that. So I'm gonna go here back to. So yes, that's where I am. We will work it from there and go from there. Now, let's go to. Come on, baby. Clip Studio Paint. Thank God it works. We had some issues. I'm probably finding that it would be good to reboot my machine every once so often. Probably. But let's see here. Let's go back to Clip Studio Paint. There we go. All right. So I'm working on this project for um, for University of Georgia Press with the writer um, 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 Stephen Berry, who wrote a really fantastic story about this guy named Prince Rivers, who was this kind of contemporary of Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, was an escaped slave, and we're telling his life story. But he just released, just turned in the manuscript for his biography of Prince Rivers. And that one is, how should I say, that one will be coming out as a regular prose book. But then we're doing a variant of it that will be in graphic novel space. That's part of what we're doing. Now, this is page 4, actually. All right, let's see here. Let's turn this off. Okay, that's page 9. So we're going to go back to page 1. So this is the first one here. Good. Page 2. So what we're doing here is I'm going to show you guys how I utilize AI when I'm doing the work. So, for example, here, this is just my regular ink drawing. Again, I'm looking for a style. Well, and when I say that, I'm going to be showing not only how I utilize 3D, but how I utilize anything 3D AI, all of it. So just, hang tough with me here. So anyway, here's a shot here. This particular case here, this is the first shot where the character is riding in to a house. And of course, the breakdowns are here, where there's a guy who's riding in the back of the carriage, and then here is coming up to the house. So watch what I'm going to do here. Now, I could draw the house, but you know what? I don't really feel like drawing that damn house. It's a lot of drawing to do, particularly when it's something that's historically put together. So I want to make sure that I take that part out. So we're going to go here. I'm going to go here. There we go. So I got rid of that because initially I was going to draw the house. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys something that I do. So we can go to Safari. I don't know what's going to happen here. Hold on one second. So what I ended up doing was I went online, and I go by 3D model shops from time to time online. And one of the things, there are lots of good ones there where they have 3D models. And when they're showcasing their 3D models, they have 360 views, right? And those 360 views are very, very, very useful. to have it. Very useful in that they can allow you to draw more quickly and more robustly, but still have a level of accuracy with your drawing. Now, in this particular shot here, there's this carriage here is riding it. And by the way, please let me know if the audio is working. I believe it is. But at any rate, what we're going to do here is we're going to drag um, 3 different screen captures, right? So that's one, right? That's pretty cool. I like that one. And then I have another one here. It's not quite an overhead shot. It's more like this one. All right. Now, if I had to choose between the two, here or here, since we're trying to show the expanse, there's a part of me that probably will stick with this one. This is the one I think I'm going to go with. So I'm going to hit Command C. I'm going to go back here. And this shot here, this is the bottom shot here where the party is riding in to this yard party. There we go. Command T. All right. So you see what we're doing here? So this is the angle. Now what this does is this keeps me from having to draw all of this stuff over and over and over again. I get really tense. All right. So let's go here. Go here. Notice what I'm doing is I'm deleting around the house because I don't need all that other stuff there. I don't need the there, here, here. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Again, this is a model that was online. It's not a problem for me to use this model. Let's see here. Okay, got that one there. And what I'm doing here is removing these blue strands. I don't even know if you can see them that well, but I don't really need that type of stuff. Okay, so right now, hit Command T. Whoops. Here. File transformation. Command T. See. Let's go Command D. All right, Command T again. There we go. I'm going to reduce this down to size. And I think, yeah, that to me seems pretty good. I like that. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Yep, I like that. Now, generally, this shot would show, and you know what? I might also import in this here. I don't know. We will see. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to click outside of this and click all of the open areas here. Right? Very quick, easy way to do that. Okay. Okay, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. There we go. All right, so I've got enough of this selected. Now I'm going to hit Command-Shift-I. When I hit Command-Shift-I, I now have to select just the parts that I wanted. I've inverted the selection. Command-C. Then we go over to Command-V. And that has copy-pasted this image to this. Now, looking at this here, in one sense, I really kind of I like the overhead shot because that's very dynamic and you can show the front yard. But I mean, you're not going to really know what you're looking at. So there's a part of me that thinks, despite this, I probably should do this. But what I should do is Command T, and we need to flip this horizontally. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good. Let's drop that down a little bit there. Yeah, I like that. Let's move this to the left a little bit here. And what we're gonna, yeah, I'm kind of liking that. I'm kind of, sort of liking that. It's not perfect, but it's maybe close enough. All right, now, so we got that. And what we're going to do here, let's move this right there, move it up a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. I'm going to perform a tonal correction on this. And I'm going to hit this with hue and saturation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the saturation down to 0 because I don't want any color in it. I want it to be gray tone. There we go. All right, let me check my comment section here and see if anybody's crazy enough to be following me here. I see. Okay. I'll go to my feed. Okay, we're still live, looks like. That's good. All right. And, okay, we're going to go back. Let me click here. Yep, let's see if we have any comments on. You can ask me any question you like, by the way. Any question you like. It's not a problem for me to ask any question. Let me click here. I'm going to go back to Facebook. There we go. All right, so here we got there. And we're going to go here back to Dieselfunk. And again, if anyone wants to ask a question, please feel free to do so. We're going to go to our, there we go to our main page. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. All right. So we're good. We're back here now. Let's zoom back in here. So right now what we have is a grayscale image. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to edit, tonal correction. I'm going to level correction now. So now what the objective is, like I'm getting heavier blacks. Oh, we don't want to get rid of all the blacks. There we go. You see what I just did there? So I just did that. It's very cool. I'm kind of liking that. Kind of liking that. All right. Yep. All right. Let me just move this over here a little bit. All right. There we go. I'm going to move this over here because you guys would be surprised how many monitors I have in this studio. I have one, well, my laptop monitor, my iPad monitor, my main Cintiq monitor, and my secondary monitor so I can keep an eye on the chats or whatever. It's pretty extreme. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, here we go. That's good. I think we're good there. Alrighty. So back here to working. Okay. So we have this. Now, just so because I don't want it to be very distracting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this channel off here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a layer underneath. And what I want to do is I want to kind of draw behind this, right? I want to draw behind this. And in fact, I have to be very careful with this, obviously. We're going to put a line of bushes, a row of bushes. Because any plantation owner in the Old South worth his salt would have a manicured, somewhat manicured land because he had enslaved folks there with him to do that job for him since he could not do it for himself. All right, but anyway, so we got that, right? We want to add a little bit of this on top here. That would be interesting. We're going to take trees here. We don't need those to be super detailed, but we need them to be detailed enough, right? There we go. And I think I'll add the same thing here. Now, one of the reasons why I'm moving on this book a little bit, because I want to make sure I finish it. I haven't really done as much on the comic online because I've been kind of holding that. But I will eventually, probably within the next few days, start beginning to show my daily progress on the comic. I think the comic is an important book. I ain't gonna think I know it is, but this is what I've been doing here a little bit as well. So you can see here a row of trees, right? And there is a row of things out front. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually erase a little bit of this bottom here, right there. We'll do it right here, and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing just in a moment. So we're going to go here, and what I'll do, I'm going to put a row of bushes here as well, right? Right. Do the same thing on this side. And the great thing about utilizing 3D in your work is you get your perspective and all that stuff. You get it for free. What can I tell you? It's really incredible for that. There we go. And again, as I'm drawing this, I'm not trying to be overly precious about the rendering on this because it's supposed to be like a person who drew it, uh, in a sketchbook. That's what they did, right? But I'm not past utilizing, you know, these type of things to get what I want, right? So I'm gonna go here. We're gonna assume that there's light underneath there, so we'll do that. We'll do the same thing on this side here, right? Because there's shadow and light coming from there. I don't really have that um, kind of line because this is a straight 3D model. That's not any shadow or lighting on it. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go here underneath, go here underneath, and there underneath. There we go. This is a balcony here. All right, I'm liking that. Just a little shadow underneath here. And again, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for close enough. Okay. A little like, yeah. All right, so there we go. So that's looking like it's kind of locked in there a little bit. All right, so I've got that. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to just kind of draw a little bit in the background. As you can see here, that there's a foreshortening that does that, right? All right. How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are doing okay. A lot going on. A lot of crazy, insane stuff going on out there, but that's okay. I think, I never thought I would say this, but things have been so crazy, we might have gotten an exit ramp for some stuff, but we will see how that goes. All right, there we go. All right. Okay, I'm liking that. All right, so we have grass here, and these are crops here. We got folks working in the field because this is a period piece. That's kind of like what it was. I'm gonna put some right here too. All right. Right. Now, what I'm gonna do? Let me just turn this here off for a second. I'm gonna go to this layer right here. So what I'm drawing is really the front of this building. So there's a curved kind of element of structure of kind of bushes here that separates a flat lawn from a kind of slightly gravel road. So that's what I'm doing here. So we're going to go back to here, right? So we see that. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to, yeah, I'm kind of liking these two here. I'm going to draw right here. There we go. We'll need to show the trees that are on the other side of that because the trees are a little bit farther away. Yeah, so here works. That works. Yeah. And then we'll do another one here. Oops. Here we go to black here. All right, there we go. And then here, we'll just put a little bit of kind of where the grass stops here. We'll put people there, people over here. All right. All right. Here we'll put a little bit of grass here. A little bit of grass here. Now this here, a little bit deeper here. This is like a gravel road. And we'll put a little bit more grass here as well. There we go. And then we'll, all right. There we go. There we go. All right. Now, we got that. Now we need to go in here for a little bit, and we just need to have a few kind of like picnickers. So we're gonna go here. And one guy here with his legs folded. There we go. And kind of a chair there, sitting on there. There we go. Kind of a lawn chair type thing happening. Then we'll have like a chair, a table, right? We have drinks here. We have cards, right? There we go. And we have a drink here. We have another person here. All right, let's take that up there. Yeah, there we go. I'm liking that. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. Let's take this here. We have a bigger man who is sitting there. Want him to be a little big. There we go. Drink. And I'm not making them kind of that developed visually because I want it to be implied who they are, right? But we will put a little shadow underneath there. Yep, there we go. Yep, that works. So we got that. So we got these two guys sitting here in the yard, and then we're gonna put some. There we go. Got some women there. Kind of. There we go. There we go. Again, this is all very, very rough kind of drawing because I don't need it to be that tight. These are two women here talking, right? Yep. Kind of Victorian era dress style. There we go. There we go. Here. There we go. All right, I'm kind of liking that. All right, so now we're going to move in a little bit on this. All right, that's not bad. I want a guy standing up here, and this is to establish a little bit of the. In fact, let me do this because I'm looking at the size of that door there, and these women look really small compared to the door size. So I think, yeah, I think that's good there. That's great. Yes, that's good. These guys here, I'm going to make them bigger. There we go. Yes. All right, I'm going to go here. Now, sadly, I'm going to have one guy here, black man, who is serving drinks or mint juleps or whatever it is that they drink. There we go. All right, cool. And then I think I'll also will have, and got a note here. Okay. Uh, all right, so here, we're going to have a gentleman here walking. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So I'm doing this to add a little bit of scale. See what I'm saying? So now when you do that, you zoom out. You have some scale. What's happening here? Now, I'm going to show some kids sort of running. playing tag or something. Yep. Go here. Oh, okay, that's acting a little weird. That's because I have the dead scan lines in my image, in my tablet here, but that's okay. There we go. All right, so there are kids playing here. All right, I want to make his leg a little bit longer here. There we go. All right, so we got our kids there running, doing what they do. All right, now that looks like a kind of a party there. But now here's one thing I will do, which you didn't have before, just to give ourselves a little bit of. We will take a chair here, go on the bottom here. Yep, there we go. We will actually set somebody in this chair. There we go. So I'm there mostly men because it's a very patriarchal society at that time. There we go. Okay, good. Alrighty. Oops. Okay. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that quite a bit. Alrighty. I like that. Now, the only thing I think I'm going to do here is I'm going to set some more women here. But what I'm going to do when I set them up, I'm going to have them off to the side here talking, and they're going to be off, not off screen, but partially out of screen. I think that'll work nicely. There we go. And then I'll do another one here. A little fan. Go here. All right, doing good here. All right, live streaming. Okay, we're good there. And let me go back here. Okay, I think that's working. All right, what is that? Okay, I think we're good. I think we're working. We're working. All right, now let's go back here. There we go. All right, and I'm going to put another one here. There we go. All righty, I like that. All right. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. That's good. Now, there's only one thing else that needs to be added to this, I think. Um, we need the carriage. And here's how I'm going to do the carriage. So, with this here, I'm going to go to Safari. So let's go to Safari. Come on, Safari. There we go. Ha ha, it works. And go there, and I'm going to add in 3D. And here is a link to um, what I'm doing here. One of the ways I utilize uh, my work. I'm going to minimize this here. Yeah, there we go. All right, so watch this. So this is 3D CAD browser. There are numerous 3D applications where they have the models. And yeah, if you don't want to buy the models, they like it if you buy the models. But sometimes you can just go here, and they have screenshots. And obviously, I don't want all this. What I want is this. What I want is a 3D model that I can rotate. See? See, I can rotate that. See, let me zoom in here a little bit. Whoops, not too much. There we go. I'm sorry. A heavy thumb action there. All right. So we're going to say here that that's, if we go back to our Clip Studio Paint, you can see here in this area, this will be kind of fitting right in front of the building a little bit. Yeah, that'll be cool, right? And what I think is going to happen is I need to show it from a slightly overhead angle. So what I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to go back to Safari. All right, go back to Safari, and I think I need to zoom out. Whoops. Oh, there we go. We're losing the track. Okay. Okay, let's reset this. All right, I'm going to reset this. There we go. All right, so we're saying here, yeah, that's about right. Right there. That's good. Now watch what I do here. I'm going to hit Command-Shift-4, and I'm going to do a screen capture over this. So I've just screen captured this. Now I'm going to drag and drop that into Clip Studio Paint. You can see here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Magic Wand. I'm going to try to get as much as I can here. I'm just holding down the Shift key. And I'm just clicking as much as I can in here. Just, oh, you know what? Let me not do that. Because that takes a while. I'm going to go select color gamut. And I'm going to click in the white areas. And so that automatically grabs everything that's white. Then I'm going to do select, invert select area. And do Command C. And then we're going to go here to this. And we're going to do Command V. Okay. I think we got it. I'm dragging this guy down. Yep, there he is. There he goes. Is that too much? Yeah, that looks a little bit too harsh. Close though. Very, very close. Very, very close. Almost. It's just, it's a little bit too much. So let's go back to Safari. All right, so we're back in Safari. As you can see here, that's a little bit too deep. So now what we're going to do is move it more like that. That probably works. Command-Shift-4. Going to do another screen capture of that. We're going to go here, drag and drop it into Clip Studio Paint. There we go. Go back to Clip Studio Paint. Now we're going to do another selection again. Select color gamut, and that'll be white again. Hit OK. Command-Shift-I, which will invert the selection. Command-C, which will copy the selection. We're going to try it one more time. We're going to get rid of the attempt we had before because that angle was a little bit off, right? So we can go here, I'm going to hit delete. And now I'm going to hit Command V. I'm going to try it again. Yep, I think that's the one. I think. Yes, that is the one. That works. Right there. That works. So a little bit smaller. Right about there. There we go. Yep. All right, now we've got that done. So here's what we're going to do. We could trace over this. Or we could do this. We're going to go to Edit, Tonal Correction. Well, you know what? Hold on. Let me do something else here. This might be something that can work. We're going to go to Airbrush Tool. And I'm going to click into the swatch here on this tool. So that's selected. So as I zoom in here, you guys can see how there are a bunch of marching ants around this selection. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my brush here, airbrush. We're going to go to shadow. And with this shadow tool here, I'm just going to, right? See, it's not painting. It's like dodge and burn. That's what this is. Dodge and burn for Clip Studio Paint, right? Go here. Here we can add these type of things there. See, I'm able to go in and add that stuff there. It's pretty cool. Can add a little shadow here and go right here. Yep, that's what I can do. All right, now let's go here. This is a very, very useful tool here. Very useful tool. All right, so you see how I'm doing this? I'm taking this. I'm just adding darker tones, and I'll show you why I'm doing this in just a moment. So just go here, go underneath here. Now, there we go. Right there. Good. Now let's go off in here. Very, very quick way to draw these sorts of things without killing yourself. And let me tell you, it is rough trying to draw something that is super duper accurate. And let me say this technique is used everywhere. I know it is. People use this technique because it is a very powerful tool. It's a very powerful tool that allows you to be able to work efficiently. Now, see how that when I zoom out of that, see what happens? So this is what it looks pixelated, but when I zoom out, all of a sudden it has fidelity to it. Very, very powerful tool. So, right, we go here, see? All right, now I'm going to take this bigger tool here. I'm going to really go over here behind there. Right, I'm going to darken up this stuff here. This is where the main character sits, even though you don't really know it initially. There we go. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. Kind of liking it. There we go. All right, now watch this. I'm going to take the tool here, the blend tool. Oops. I'm going to take the warp tool here and make this point here a little bit bigger. Whoops. Let's make the warp tool, the point, a little bit smaller here. I'm going to zoom in here. So watch what I'm doing. So I'm able to tweak that. See what's happening here? See what I'm doing? Move that over a little bit. All right, now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here. I'm going to erase a little bit behind there. See what I'm doing? And I'm going to erase a little bit behind here as well. There we go. Now I'm going to take my pen tool here. I'm going to select here. There we go. Set horse, leg. So what I do, I can do that. Quick, fast, quick, easy way to add this sort of kind of dynamism to the pose of the horse. Right? You see what that's doing? And this is actually a 3D model that I'm taking, right? So now, if I go back to brush and go to shadow, all I've got to do here, right? And since this is from a distance, it's okay if I make that shadow a little bit dark. See? I'm just going in the background there. Going in the parts here, right? All right, let me erase under here because I think it's grabbing onto some of the pixels that were stretched. That's okay. We'll take care of that. There we go. Yep. There we go. There we go. There we go. See? All right, now, so we got tones on the horses here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add highlights. And this time I'm going to go with a little white. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to see. There we go. So this is basically Dodge for Clip Studio Paint. Highly effective tool. Dodge and Burn has been the lifesaver for so many stuff. I said lifesaver, not lightsaber. Let me go here. Y'all saw that joke, right? So we go here, right? And we just pop it here, pop it there. There we go. Now, I could, if I wanted to, I could, um, I could just leave that as is. But I'm going to duplicate this layer here just in case. Right? And because I added these highlights and these tones into it, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to Edit, Tonal Correction. Now I'm going to go to Level Correction. See what I'm saying? I'm increasing the blacks, but I'm increasing the whites, the lights. See what's happening there? Whoa, not too much. So what that's doing is adding a little, making it fit a little bit like what's happening this sort of time of day. Let me just drop that down just a little bit, that saturation. Oh no, that doesn't work so well. Let's undo this. That was a little bit too much there. Do it one more time. Level correction. Go here. Go back. 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 Alright, cool. I can live with that. Now, here's the next thing I'm going to do. I'm going to take a layer underneath this. And I'm just going to very quickly Alright, this is the horse. Alright, there we go. And I think I need to adjust this guy here. Well, you're probably not going to be able to see it that well, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Let's do here and here. There we go. go here and adjust what he's wearing a little bit, you'll understand why as we go a little bit deeper into the story. There we go. Yes. All right, it's almost 9 o'clock here. I'm going to take a short break, specifically a bathroom break, and then I'll be back. Just hang on 1 second, guys. Alrighty. We are back. Had to take a break because I'm a human being, and we have to give the body enough time to restore blood to its shape and form. So the title of this particular post says generative AI for traditional artists, but you guys haven't seen me do any generative AI. And why is that? That's because AI actually plays a very small part in how I use AI to do what I need to do. So you can see here, so you see all these different things together. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to go here. I'm going to keep my pen really thin. And I'm going to put the back part in there, right? We're going to, this guy, whoever this plantation owner here has hundreds of thousands of acres, obviously. This is a pre-Civil War period. And I myself, for the latter part of my life, of my childhood, the last 2-3 years of my childhood in Mississippi, lived on a plantation. My parents actually bought one. It subsequently burned down, which was kind of good. I mean, bad, but deservingly so. But so we do that now. We'll put a tree line because in the Mississippi Delta, what happens? Everything is flat. And everything was cut down. So when it was cut down, what would happen was you would still have a tree line dividing the property. Right? See how that is? Now, since we know the land is kind of kind of coming here, right? We have people there, spots and things. I'll just put a little bit of shading here, not too much. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm now going to put those clouds there. Right? There we go. There we go. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to see. All right. So we've got this. So I'm good with this, right? That's fine. Where does the AI part come in? AI part comes in just right like this. I'm going to take this, hit Command Shift 4, and we're going to go right here. I'm just going to select this part here because this is where we're going to lay this stuff. So we actually have here a whoops. I just took a screenshot of this, and just to show you here, I have everything laid out with the people in the field, the clouds in the sky, all that type of stuff. I just did a screen capture of it. Now we're going to go to Safari. With Safari, the software program that I tend to use is called VizCom. VizCom AI, I have found to be incredibly amazing towards doing what I need to do. And there's so much about it I don't know. But when I'm utilizing AI, the biggest issue that I have is that it takes so long just to render and color stuff, right? People say, well, that's part of being an artist. Yeah, if that were the case, then people wouldn't hire flatters to color cartoons. What you do is use whatever technique you can to speed up the process. So here I'm going to go to New File and start in Studio. So now I can import images in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Finder and drag and drop this image into there. So you can see here that screen capture I made, right, is set in there. And the software automatically generates a written prompt based on the drawing that I did. So that means the drawing is the first prompt, right? All the things I put together, I put the 3D object in there, turn it into a 2D object, drew all the characters. And so what's happening is the software is detecting what it's reading, what it's seeing. And it's making calculations on with edge detection, which I assume they all use edge detection. And it's making an assessment of what's going on within the drawing. So it says a large plantation house with 4 tall columns. It actually has more than that. 2 chimneys and dormer windows. Horse-drawn carriage and people in period clothing outside on a great green lawn. Right? We're going to say the horse-drawn carriage sits on a dirt driveway, and people in period clothing outside on a great green lawn. I want this be midday, right? Sunny, cinematic, and then photo real. All right, watch this. Hit generate. I don't have no idea what it's going to do, but what it's doing is all of the different prompts I wrote in are now going in. But here's the thing you need to keep in mind. When I entered this information in, I never use another artist's name. I never use another artist's name. Do you see what I'm saying? You see what I just did here? You see what I just did? That if I decided I was going to do this in a regular style, this would be crushing to do this. But as you can see here, this is what's happening. And best of all, let's add this one in. Want to add that one in for sure. I like the one with the green lawn is best. Yeah, so we're going to add this one in, right? All of them are cool, but I think we're going to go with the one that has the green in there. All right. So that's what we got. See what we have here? So we have this file. Now, best of all, so there's no confusion, I'm zooming in here. This is following my drawing. See what's happening? See how it's following my drawings? See the shadows? That's what AI is great at. All of that God-forsaken rendering I would have to do, that would be absolutely do murder to my body, that's what it's great for. That's what it's fantastic at, right? And that's what you have to be aware of, is that it allows you to output more material based on your work, because it is the drawing, right? Because I can't accept this as is. I can't accept this as is. I still have to touch it up, right? We're going to change this to, BP plantation lawn, right? All right. I'm going to save this file, export PSD. So that is now saved as a Photoshop file, a layered Photoshop file. Now watch what we're going to do here. Okay, I'm trying to find my mouse here. There's so many monitors, sometimes I have a difficulty keeping track where all my stuff is. Okay, but we're going to click here. I'm going to go to download. There we go. Let's see, we'll go through here. There we go. Oops. Drag here, hang on. There we go. BP Plantation. Gonna drag this into Clip Studio Paint. There we go. As you can see here, this is what we have. All right, I'm liking that. Now, before we do anything here, one of the things I'm gonna do, I'm even liking the steps here. This is actually the one I like. The problem is, I like the stuff with the house here. See the people it has in the field and all that? That's incredible. Incredible stuff. So I like the field and the house at top, but I prefer the lawn down there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this. I'm going to duplicate this. Actually, I'll duplicate both. All right. There we go. So both of these are duplicated. I know you can't see it for right now, but hang on. Hang tough. All right. Boom. Bang. Okay. Let's take this. Move this up top. All right. Now, so what that means is I want to keep the bottom part here of this one, and the top part of the other one. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go here to the eraser. All right. See what I'm doing? Isn't that great? See what it does? That's incredible, isn't it? I can even keep those people if I want, but now, why not? Why not just get rid of them? See? That's what AI is great at. Right? That's what it's fantastic at. So here, what it's done here is it's allowed me to retain the thing with the kids. But how? I I need to keep the gravel, right? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me go back to Clip Studio Paint because this is what you guys need to see, obviously, right? You see, I'm erasing now the parts that I don't want and need. See, I don't mind the gravel because this is this is the 1800s, so things are a little bit different. Yep, that's good, right? All right, I like that, right? Because the horse is on dirt. That's pretty good there. See? Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay? So you see what I did there? That's how we kept that. But keep in mind, here's the catch. Even though there's this drawing, we still it's this painting, it's this photograph. Watch this. I'm going to duplicate this image. I'm going to go here. Just move this up top. Whoops. Move this up top there. So there's my drawing. Watch what happens when I hit this with multiply. All of a sudden, the drawing is overlaying the elements. Now, that might be a bit too harsh. You can reduce the drawings down. See how to reduce the line work down? But it's still there. It's very, very nice. Then I can go in with highlights. So this is the thing that, okay, I'm getting okay, I don't know what's going on there. We're going to stay away from that. Someone just chatted in YouTube, and it looks like a perhaps unwanted YouTuber attention, which is fine. So yes, let's see what else we got here. Let's see, this is Dieselfunk. We'll go to the Dieselfunk main page, see if anyone has commented. You may have, you may have not. It is all good. Whoever that one person is watching, thank you so much. There we go here. Okay, and close that. All right. So we know that's running, so that's good, right? And I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay, so we're going to go back here, and we will go back. There we go. All right, so we have this, right? I like what we have here. It has that it's kind of a photographic effect, but it's based on my drawings. Do you understand why this is so powerful? That's the key. It's so powerful because it can do that type of stuff. This, for me to have rendered something this photorealistic based on this drawing, to make it look like this, maybe I can get the whole thing done in 2 days. The drawing was quick, but to paint it and to render it like this, a day or two. Now what? The render was what? 30 seconds to composite it and do what I needed it to do. What? 2 minutes. Now I still want to go into this and tweak some things. I will do that. But this is what I'm talking about. This is what this tool is meant for. If you are a traditional artist, I'm not allowing the tool to do all the work. What I'm having it do is augment what I'm doing. Do we understand? Is it cheating? No more than an airbrush, right? You can take a brush, you can do it no more than using reference, no more than copying or tracing, right? It's just that it's a more powerful variant of it. I am not trying to produce work that takes work from other people. I have no interest in that. I'm only interested in doing my work and the jobs that I have, right? Sometimes they call for AI, sometimes they call for 3D, sometimes they call for straight drawing. This one right here calls for a hybrid, right? There's some other ones that do a little bit more. Right? At any rate, here we go. So we got this. I want to turn these off here a little bit. Let's go back here and make this a normal. Okay, that's a normal. Actually, I'll leave it as multiply. What we're going to do here, we're going to take this and this. We're going to merge the two layers I have here. These two layers are now merged, right? I'm going to hit Command C. Then we're going to go back to this. Here, we're going to hit Command V. So you see here, that's kind of big, right? And that's okay, because what we want to do is drop this in place. So we're going to hit this tool, multiply. There we go. Hit Command T. I want to start bringing this down inside. See? There we go. Right? I'm liking it. Let's go back to our ladies here. And then we got our kids here. Oops, take it easy. Move that up a bit. Yep. Now we have double lines in there, but we can see we can cover that up. See how I'm just slowly progressively moving things back into place. All right. Let's see here. Let's take this. All right. All right. I kind of like that. Now, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to select, because this is pretty cool here. I'm going to select here. Select there. Whoops. There we go. Go here. Okay, here we go. See, I'm getting rid of the borders here. All right, there we go. I'm liking it. Now, so we have this here. Remember what I said before about there being a little bit too much line work, or line work being too heavy. All right, what's that? That's the other house. Remember the house I was going to do overhead? Let me get rid of that. We don't need that now. All right, what's this one? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a screenshot of the carriage. I'm going to move that. I'll keep that, but I'm going to move it outside of the folder here. Okay, then we got this. All right, now this is another shot. That goes for that panel there. I'm going to move this. Let's move this right here. We want to move that outside. Right? Okay. Oh no. Right here. Okay, we got that. All right. There we go. So we're going to take this, we're going to move this right there because we want that because that's another panel. This is the panel that we're working on here. Yeah, that page. Well, it's all of the pages, but you know, this is where we're dropping it off from that. All right, so I'm going to go here. All right, so we got this. We don't need the rough background there. We need this. We don't need that. I'm going to move this up here a little bit. All right. I will move this back down here. No, it doesn't. You can't see this, and eventually I'll get the interface right for what I'm doing here. Let's see here. Let's go there. righty. All right. Liking the way. Huh? I'm liking it. All right, good. Let's go back here to, I just want to check my comments. Okay. All right. So we've got that. All right. That's good. And that's the top thing. That's the thing here. Okay, got that for 2 panels. And then we have the horse and carriage, which is good. We have the shadow underneath there. Yep. We got the land, the drawing, right? Which is good. What's this? Oh, we got this right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to merge this and that one. Merge selected layers. So, okay, so we got pretty much all of the drawing here kind of laid down. What's that? That's the shadows underneath that. I think I will keep the shadows where they are. Yep. Okay, good. There we go. That's that. All right, this is the carriage. I'm going to leave the carriage there. And then we got, okay, in the house. All right, where is, okay, good, 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 good. I think we're good. We're good. So now what I'm going to do right now, this is set to normal. I'm going to go to multiply. Ah, there we go. Now that's kind of harsh. So what I'm going to do is drop the multiply down. See how the lines become less harsh? They become less harsh. But I still want that to be a drawing. Still need that to be a drawing. Right? So now, got our carriage, we got our horse and carriage. But you know what? I'm gonna do something with this horse and carriage. I mean, that's there. That looks pretty good. I think what happens if I multiply? Ah, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Now from a distance, that from close up it looks like whoa. But from close up it looks pretty good. Let's go to overlay. Ah, even better. Look at that. Look at that. That's incredible. All right, yeah. So we see that the sun is coming from the upper left a little bit, right? Shadows, not too harsh. This is like a midday, that type thing, right? So we go here. Let's drop that down a little bit, right? Okay, that's good. That's good. Now we're going to go in with a layer, and here's where things are going to get interesting. I'm going to take charcoal, and I want to go here and just start adding highlights. Right? See, I can go in here. See, I can add this type of stuff on there. You know, that charcoal is a little rough. Let's see what happens if we take a little chalk here. Whoa, that's a lot. Make that point really thin. See? That's kind of cool because what's happening now, this adds a hand-drawn effect on top of this stuff. Right? Again, the objective is not to have the work look slavishly like a photo. The objective is to make it look like you're drawing. So you're never, whatever comes out of the AI, you're always going to have to touch it up. Whatever, it's like when you utilize 3D imagery, you're not using that image. That's you got to go in and do some work to that image to paint over effects to get it to where you need it to be. See, watch this. See? That's cool. Now, let me take that point up there a little bit. See, now I can do this. So I can add that kind of effect on it. Yeah, I love that. Right? See? Look at that. See what's starting to happen there? These things are starting to look a little bit drawn. If I ease up on it, I can have the kind of grates to this here begin to take on a specific type of effect. Wow, look at that. Isn't that great? All right, let's go on this side. Right? All right. See what's happening here? See, I'm able to add highlights to these things. Yeah, I love that. All right, watch this. See what it's doing? Pretty incredible what these tools are when you marry generative AI with digital illustration tools and 3D. And I've used almost every medium. The only thing I haven't used on this is a doggone a gaming engine. And that's coming. Let me tell you, that's coming, particularly for the comic. Right? There we go. All right. Ah, I like it. Look at that. Look at that. Now, watch this. Here's where it's going to get interesting. Now I can go here. Let me take a better tool here. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use maybe a straight charcoal. Let's see what happens here. All right. So I'm going here, add a little highlights. See? These are the things you can do with this tool. Go here. Oh man, love that. That's maybe not as much. Let's go back to pastel. I don't know if it's going to work here, but we'll see what happens. All right, let's take a little green here. We're going to make that a little limey green. Limey green. All right. Let's go to chalk. We'll use this. Yeah, there we go. See that? See what that's doing? Incredibly powerful tool. Incredibly powerful tool. And it makes the work more enjoyable, frankly. You know, when I was painting on infinitum, I enjoyed it, but I just knew when my arms were throbbing, you know, that I was reaching a technical point where it was not healthy for me to draw like that. I was reaching the limit of what was possible for me to do. All right, see that? Look at that. Isn't that crazy? All right, let's go here. Not too much. Take it easy, buddy. Wow, I love this. A little bit touch there. It's just a little sprinkling of highlights. Love this. Love this stuff. All right, now we'll go here. I'm gonna. There we go. There we go. See? There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I love that. Alrighty. Alright. Alright, let me just put a little bit of sprinkling of grass here. Yeah, I love it. We can even do this. Yeah, there we go. See? Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that. I love that. I love that. Now, let's turn that off. See what happens? So with the line artwork on there and the other stuff, it really is great. Now, let me try something else. I'm going to try a light blue. That probably won't matter, but let's see what happens if I take another layer here, right there. Ah, look at that. Blue. Not too much blue, but blue enough. Ha ha. Right? Wow, look at that. Blue. I'm liking it. All right. Now, that's good. Now, here's the thing I could do with this. That blue, I could take that blue, put that on a glow dodge. See that glow dodge? But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that as a normal because that worked pretty good. But on this one here, let's see what happens if I pop it for a little overlay. Nah, I took it down a little bit too much there. Let's go with a, look at that. Dad, I love that. I love that. I love that. So now, let's see here. We can now add a few atmospheric effects. Watch this, guys. We go here. Whoops, wrong one. Let's choose a little of this here. Now we're going to go in and just add a little, right? Just a little bit, not too much, right? Right? Watch this. Whoops. All right, getting a little atmosphere in the back there. A little atmosphere in the back there. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Now I'm going to do one more thing here. It's going to be a little weird, but work with me. I'm going to go here. Whoops, not too much. Brush here a little bit. All right. All right, now let's see what happens when I hit this with a little smudge, a little airbrush. I don't know what's going to happen here, but we're going to see. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to overlay. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Can you guys see? Let me show you here. Look what's happening here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me zoom in here. Look at this. See what it's doing? And I can reduce this down. See, I can reduce it down. That's nice. I love that. I think this is an incredibly powerful tool. I just really do. I think people will be served better. Or, you know what? Let me not say. People, I can be served better. That I do know. It's allowing me to get my work done much more effectively, much more efficiently. And I can go here. I can reduce the line size down. I can do all that. But, let's do this. All right, now. So that's good. I'm happy about that. I'm going to call this particular image here done. Should probably save my work. Now, so this is part of how I utilize the tool to get the look that I want. Now, ultimately, there's going to be a lot of post effects on here. I want the page edges to feel like they're torn, that kind of thing. We're still working that process out, but The one thing I do know is that it's requiring a certain amount of experimentation to get the look that we want, because that's part of. Hello, Darius Crosby. Cello, brother Crosby. Um, yeah. So part of what we're doing, or what I'm doing, is I am trying my best to utilize digital tools that will allow me to output my work faster. So the way I look at it is like this. Uh, I can either do 2 stories traditionally over the next 5 years, right? And not be guaranteed to be able to do any more after that, right? And I'm not talking about floppies. I'm talking about full on graphic novels, 150 to 250 page graphic novels. I could do 2 of them. If I'm working traditionally, well, I'm having to paint and draw everything normally, 2 years per book is likely. Utilizing digital tech, AI, 3D game engine technology, along with my illustration work, I think it is possible to have this work done in 6 months. I don't want to say less, but I'm saying anything that can reduce your workload from 6 months, from 24 months to 6 months, you can't ignore that. At least I can't ignore it. And I'm not going to ignore it, because I know what happens when I ignore that type of thing. It's like, I could have learned Maya. I didn't learn Maya. I learned 3ds Max. People kept telling me to learn Maya. I didn't learn Maya. So there were so many jobs I was cut out of because I didn't know Maya. Right? I have to take it upon myself to learn the tools that are necessary to get my work done. Because no one's going to do the work for me. I have to do it. I don't have the money like that. I can't hire 10 assistants. I can't do that, right? My assistants are the tools that I use, right? Occasionally, if I have a little cash, I'll hire out a flatter, right? I might take on some interns. I've done that before, but interns are interesting because when you use interns, they got to make a living too. And they can't just do free work into perpetuity. It doesn't work that way, right? So these are the types of things that I'm putting. I'm having to be honest with myself about, right? These are the type of things I'm having to be honest with myself about, and I use these tools to allow myself to get the work that I need to get done. It's as simple as that. All right, let's see here. Go here. Delete that, because someone keeps posting in my message here, and getting rid of that. But that's okay. I might ban him next time. Anyway, so that's where I am. Let's see. Let's go back to Facebook. Thank you, Darius. Always nice to have a supportive voice. And also, by the way, guys, I do this to. I recognize I'm going to be slowly building audience. This is not something that I'm aware of that's just going to like simply take off, overnight. And I don't really need it to. What I really need to happen here is I just need to be able to do my work and to show people what I'm working on. That's what I'm interested in doing. All right, so we got that. It's now 9:43. I'm gonna go for another 15 minutes, and I think we had a good work day today. We did have a good. I love that. I mean, it looks like a Victorian era drawing painting. I love it. But we're gonna see how the author digs it. But I love it. In fact, hold on one second before I do that, because now it got me hyped. Right now, it's got me hyped. Let's see here. This is this image here. Let's go here. I'm gonna zoom in, And again, this is inked traditionally. And the reason why I like it, it's very Mobius, a blueberry Mobius. Right? I love that. So I'm going to hit Command Shift 4. I'm going to drag around it. I'm going to go here. There we go. I'm going to go on the other side here. Whoops. Right there. So I got that, right? Now, I'm sorry. So I just did a screen capture of the top frame here. I just captured it. Now let's go back to VizCom here. And just to make sure that I'm trying to keep things somewhat consistent, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy Command C, Command A, Command C. I'm going to copy the written prompt that was in there. The reason why I want to do that is just in case I want to keep, consistent lighting with things. I want to be able to do that. So let's go here. I'm going to call this, all right, prompts. All right, boom. Okay, got it. Now, I'm going to go back here to VizComs, which you guys should be able to see. Let's go back here to Mail Studio. Hold on. Let me, okay, I don't know why that was there. Do not understand what eCam is on. We don't want eCam. All right. So let's go here to Safari. All right, we need to go to Mail Studio. Okay, I think we're good here. All right, now I'm going to go back to the workspace, right? And I'm going to create a new file. Start in Studio. We'll upload the image. The image we're going to upload will be recent. There it is, screenshot. So we can go here, right? So that's dragged and dropped. So here's what's happening now. See, horse-drawn carriage on tree-lined path with house in background. Strone's black and white contrast. We don't want that, right? What we want is I'm going to paste in the prompt I did before, right? We're going to say horse-drawn carriage on tree-lined path with house in background, right? We're going to eliminate most of this stuff here, right? And we're going to leave it at the same time. We're going to say midday, sunny, cinematic, photo real. So you see what I'm saying? I'm taking what's consistent from the previous prompt and placing it within this prompt. All right, let's see what we got here. Bless you. Wife is sneezing. Oh boy, I don't know. Wow, look at that. That looks amazing. Oh, I really love that. Oh, I like that too. These were, oh, look at that. Look at that. That's like seriously on the money, dude. So let's see, not this one. I like this one. We're going to add that one. I kind of like that one too. But this one I love. I love that one. Wow. Okay, so I think we're good with these. I didn't expect that to work well as well it did. So we're going to go here. We're going to say BP Plantation Road. We're just going to say driveway. Now I'm going to go here. I'll go to File, Export, Photoshop. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to go back to Clip Studio Paint. right? Clip Studio. And I'm going to go here to downloads. There it is. And drag and drop. There we go. Now let's see what we will see. Now look at this stuff here. Look at this stuff. Isn't that incredible? It's just going from my drawings. How can you not use this? I don't get that. I don't get that. It's going off of my drawings, right? And I'm not even putting color in this stuff. Look at this. I mean, incredible. Man, I don't know which one I like the most here. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Well, I have to make a choice, don't I? Here, here. All right, we got there, here. All right. I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go because all of them are so close. Does it really matter? All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go with the one that has the most abstraction in it. I'm probably gonna go with. I mean, see, look. Let me explain. For animation backgrounds, heck, if you're doing animation generally, this is a phenomenal tool. If you're using your drawings, your illustrations as the prompt, and if you've never crossed the line of utilizing another artist's name or work in your stuff, and it's not the end process. What you're doing is you're putting something in there, and you know you're gonna paint it. In this case here, you know, there's not a lot of paint in this right here because that looks freaking beautiful. But let's see here. What can we do? I gotta make a choice. Damn, I have to make a choice. Dag nabbit. Man, I don't know, people. This is quite alarming. Let's go right here because what it does is it establishes, it doesn't have the background, it still has the sky in there. So we're gonna go with this. We're gonna do Command C, and we're gonna go back to our breakdowns here. We're gonna go to, here we go, Command V. Oh yeah, that's big. Big stuff. Reduce down in size. All right, we're gonna switch that to multiply. Let's try that transform right quick. Multiply so we can see what we're doing. All right, and go right. All right, here, then T. All right, we're taking this. Very close. Very close, people. Oh, yeah. There we go. Yep. I think that be it. Let me, yep. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to take this. I'm going to move this back to normal. I'm going to move this on top here. And I'm going to make that a multiply. But I'm going to reduce the line work down in this. There we go. See that? So it still is a drawing. Very good. Now, wow. Wowie kazowie. Let's take our charcoal tool. I think we're gonna do is we're gonna go with a little light white on this. Whoops. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Let me zoom into that. We're not looking for perfection here. We're looking for done. Wow, look at that. Watch this. I'm going to go here to add a little bit of grit and grime to this. The tree, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That is truly a miracle of technology. And it allows me to do my work. Look at that. All right, let's go here. Yep. Yep. I'm liking it. Wow, look at that. Here. Pop some highlights on there. Yep. Yep. I'm liking it. Okay. And I think I'm going to keep this highlight here. I'm kind of liking this highlighter. Let me just a little bit here, little things here. Opacity is brush density is 70. That's not bad. Yep, I'm loving this. All right, now let's take a little bit of this. Not too much. We got to take it easy there, buddy. Take it easy, man. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Add that little highlight on there. Man, oh man. Now, let me take this brush here a little bit bigger. All right. There we go. Look at that. Yes. That is awesome. Awesome. Here. All right. I'm liking that. That looks great. I like it. I mean, again, what we're going for is a look that is not want it to look like it's completely drawn with, oh, well, it's sketchy with pastels, but we also want to marry that look with a kind of old photograph and old illustration look, right? So that's what we're doing here. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Let me turn this off so you can see the difference. See that difference there? Now watch what happens if I move this to blow dodge. Ah, wow. Wow, look at that. I love that. I love that. That is awesome. Now I'm going to do a little effects here over the back. Go here. I'm going to just take this a little bit of yellow here. Let's put a little bit of this on the back here. Whoops. Yeah, take it easy there, buddy. That's that. Look, there's. There we go. All right, take it easy, buddy. All right, now we're going to go off in here a little bit as well. And we want to kind of smudge that out a little bit so you're kind of, what you see is a little bit washed out there because we know it's going in the back. So let's go here. Going to erase. Oh man, what did I do? Oh no, we did good. We did good. We did good. Go here. There we go. Take it easy, buddy. Now, what's happening here is that the light here is going to kind of be foggy. That's good. We're going to go here to overlay. Nope. I'm thinking glow will work. Take that down a little bit. There we go. Nice. 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 And that was done, so what? I worked on this image, what? 10, 15 minutes? Pretty good. Pretty good for the time saved. And that image, this page here is like one illustration from being done. So we are making our way through it all. We're making our way. We're getting it done. I know this is not perfect, but I'm so proud of this work. Feel like I'm doing something that's pushing things ahead as an Afrofuturist. I know, you know, as an Afrofuturist, it's not just about doing Afrofuturist work. It's about also, at least for me, it's also about uh, producing work that is done in an Afrofuturist manner. And what I'm doing here, as I'm doing advanced technology, to actually in here, what we're doing is codifying the past. It's a story that nobody knows. If you're going to be an Afrofuturist, this is one of not because a bunch of things we can do. But this is one of the things that I'm honored to do. Right? I'm honored to do this type of stuff. And yes, it's a scary time that we're in because there's people losing work. I get it. I get all of it. But man, never before in at least modern history has more opportunity existed for individual operators to generate IP. And I know this all comes with job loss. And, I would imagine that eventually this is going to come back. It might even come back to hunt me. I don't know. But that's fine. My job is to utilize advanced technology to tell my story. That's my job. Literally, it is my job. And to tell stories about people of color in these type of environments. I'm not saying that anyone else has this job. That's the way I see this as my job since I was a young boy. Obviously, it's made me very rich. I'm joking. But I feel like somebody needs to show how this is done. They need to physically show that. They don't need to just show the finished work. They need to show how it's done. And, it is my work. It's my work. It's based on my drawings. I go in and add color where I want to. There's certain things a little bit different. And tomorrow I'll do a little bit more. Maybe not on this story, but, a little bit on it. I got some other stuff I got to do as well. But, yeah, that's where we are. With that, we've had a great run. Again, I want to thank, um, uh, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. My work can be purchased at Dieselfunk.com. It can be all that type of stuff. And I need you guys to go out and buy my stuff. Why? Because that is how I pay the bills. Music by my brother Boston Fielder. Go to Herbalt Bandcamp. My books, Infinitum and Afrofuturist Tale, Maddie's Rocket, and the Graphic History of Hip Hop. You can go to Dieselfunk to buy these things. Thank you guys. And go one more time. That's me jumping. I ain't going to jump no more. That's it. Music by Boston Fielder, herbalt.bandcamp.com. My books, Infinitum and Afrofuturist Tale, Maddie's Rocket, the Graphic History of Hip Hop. Thank you, and good night.